Close your eyes for a second. Imagine standing in the ruins of an old prison, the air thick with dust, and suddenly a whisper brushes your ear. No one's there. Or picture this. You're driving down a desert highway at midnight, and lights, bright, impossible lights, start dancing in the sky above you. These aren't just scenes from a horror movie. They're real stories, from real people, tied to real places across America. Places so strange they've become legends. Haunted houses, ghost ships, UFO hotspots. They pull us in because they defy everything we think we know. Welcome back to our channel, where we don't just tell tales, we chase the truth behind them. Today, we're embarking on a 3-hour odyssey through some of the most chilling, mind-bending spots in the US. We'll start with the stories, raw, unfiltered accounts from those who've lived them. Then peel back the layers with science and a wild twist. Could aliens be lurking in the shadows? Get comfortable, maybe keep the lights on, because this is going to be a ride. Let's dive into the tales. These aren't myths or fiction. They're from diaries, interviews, police reports, and decades of whispers. We'll explore 7 places, each with its own haunting flavor and cosmic twist. It's October 1971 in Philadelphia. Gary Johnson, a locksmith with a steady hand, steps into Eastern State Penitentiary. This place hasn't held prisoners since 1970, just a rotting shell of stone and steel. He's there to fix locks in cell block 4, a dank corridor where the air feels heavier than it should. The sun's gone down, and his flashlight cuts through the gloom. He's wrestling with a rusted cell door when it happens. A low, guttural chuckle echoes behind him. He freezes. "Who's there?" he calls, voice shaking. Silence. He turns, expecting a prankster, but it's just shadows stretching across the cracked walls. Then, a cold grip clamps his shoulder. He drops his tools, stumbles back, and swears he sees it. A face, pale, eyeless, hovering in the cell's darkness. Gary runs, leaving his gear behind, and never returns. But Gary's not alone. Back in the 50s, guards wrote about footsteps pacing empty halls. Clip-clop, clip-clop, like boots on stone. One night in '62, a guard named Harold saw a figure in a tattered uniform dart past cell block 12. He chased it, flashlight shaking, only to find a dead end. Fast forward to 2005, a tourist, Lisa, snaps a photo near the guard tower. She checks it later. A man in old prison clothes stands in the frame, clear as day. No one was there when she clicked the shutter. She posts it online. Skeptics call it a trick, but locals nod knowingly. Eastern State's past fuels these tales. Built in 1829, it pioneered solitary confinement. Cells so small you couldn't stretch your arms. Inmates went mad. Some died clawing the walls. Al Capone, locked here in '29, swore a ghost named Jimmy woke him nightly, screaming. Today, visitors hear cries, feel hands brushing their necks. Is it the prison's pain lingering, or something watching? Nevada, November 1987. Janet Miller's closing up her diner in Rachel, a speck of a town near Area 51. She's driving home on State Route 375, the extraterrestrial highway, when her radio cuts to static. She glances up. 3 orbs, red, blue, green, hover above the asphalt, pulsing like heartbeats. They're silent, bigger than her car. She slams the brakes, stares as they drift, then shoot toward the horizon, toward Area 51. Her hands shake. She doesn't tell a soul for months. But word spreads. Truckers on that road talk of lights, pacing their rigs, vanishing when they stop. In '89, Bob Lazar blows the lid off. He says he worked at S4, a site near Area 51, on alien ships. Janet believes him. More comes out. A rancher, Tom, finds his cows in '92. 5 of them sliced open, organs gone, no blood, no tracks. He calls the sheriff. They blame coyotes. Tom laughs. Coyotes don't use scalpels. Then, July 1995, a camper, Mike, wakes to his tent shaking. A beam of light floods inside. Blinding. White. He stumbles out. A triangular craft, silent, hovers above. It's huge, edges glowing, then zips away faster than any plane. He's not alone. Pilots at Nellis Air Force Base log bogies on radar, moving 3,000 miles an hour, then gone. Area 51's a black box. Cold War tests, sure. But the UFO talk won't die. Locals hear hums underground, see jets scramble when lights appear. Is it us or them? Utah, March 1996. Terry and Gwen Sherman move into Skinwalker Ranch, 480 acres of scrub and silence. Day 3, Terry's feeding cattle when he spots it. A wolf, massive, gray, eyes locked on him. It's too big, 6 feet at the shoulder. He grabs his rifle, fires 3 shots, boom, boom, boom. Dust kicks up. The wolf doesn't flinch. It strolls off, unbothered. Terry tracks it. No blood, no prints. 2 days later, Gwen's hanging laundry, a glowing orb, basketball-sized, floats over the barn. It hums, then blinks out. That night, their dog howls at nothing. Terry finds it dead by morning, singed, like it was microwaved. It escalates. Cattle vanish, once found later, cut open, heart missing, edges cauterized. Terry hears voices, deep, guttural, outside his window. He grabs a flashlight. A blue light zips skyward. By '97, they see UFO, discs, triangle, hovering over the fields. One night, Gwen wakes to a 7-foot figure in her room, thin, glowing eyes. It's gone when she screams. They sell in 2000 to researchers who log more. Magnetic spikes, a glowing portal in the woods. The Ute tribe shuns this land. Skinwalkers, they say, evil spirits. But UFOs, that's modern. Are ancient curses meeting high-tech visitors? But Gary's not alone. Back in the 50s, guards wrote about footsteps pacing empty halls. Clip-clop, clip-clop, like boots on stone. Louisville, Kentucky, 1985. A group of teens sneaks into Waverly Hills Sanatorium, an abandoned TB hospital from the 20s. It's a dare. The place is infamous. They're in room 502 when Sarah, 17, feels it. Ice-cold air. Then a tug on her hair. She turns. A woman in a white nurse's uniform stands there, face blank, staring. Sarah screams. The figure vanishes. Her friends hear footsteps, thud, thud, echoing down the hall. They bolt, but Mike lags behind. He swears something whispers his name. Mike, stay. From the shadows. Outside, they check their Polaroids. One shows a faint outline in 502, arms outstretched. Staff from the 40s had tails too. Nurse Mary, in 38, saw a child in a gown run past her. Hours later, she learned the last kid patient died that morning. The death tunnel, a chute for bodies, hums with voices, footsteps. In 2001, a ghost hunter records an EVP. Get out, clear as day. Over 60,000 died here. TB ripped through like wildfire. Is it their pain or something darker? Those stories stick with you, don't they? 5 places, 5 sets of chills. But what's really happening? Let's dissect them. First with science, then the alien lens. This is where it gets wild. Eastern State, Queen Mary, Waverly Hills. They're old, crumbling, perfect for science to step in. Infrasound's a big player. Low frequency waves from wind, pipes, even traffic. A 2003 UK study found it in haunted sites. Your body feels it. Unease, goosebumps, hallucinations. Eastern's chuckles. Air through stone cracks. Queen Mary screams. Metal expanding in the hull. Waverly's whispers. Echoes in that tunnel. Add pareidolia. Seeing faces in shadows. And you've got Gary's eyeless ghost or Lisa's photo. Area 51 and Skinwalker Ranch lean harder on tech. Those orbs Janet saw, plasma from military flares, Nevada's a test zone. Cow mutilations. Scavengers like blowflies leave clean cuts. Bacteria eat blood fast. Skinwalker's wolf? A bear distorted by fear. Terry's shots might have missed. The tent-shaking beam? Ball lightning or a mirage? Rare, but real. Voices? Wind in Utah's canyons mimics speech. Our brains love patterns. We turn noise into meaning. Psychology's key, too. Eastern's isolation drove inmates mad. Hallucinations linger in memory. Queen Mary's tragedies prime guests to see John. Waverly's death, toll feeds dread. Science says it's us, our minds, our world. But does it cover everything? Now, let's flip it. What if aliens are the thread? Eastern's figures, Queen Mary's kids, Waverly's nurse? Could they be ET projections? UFO theorist Jacques Vallée says aliens don't just fly ships. They manipulate perception, blending into our fears. Old places with trauma might draw them. Energy hotspots for experiments. Imagine, Gary's face isn't a ghost, but a test image from a cloaked craft. Area 51's the smoking gun. Lazar's story, 9 UFOs, anti-gravity tech. Matches Navy pilots' 2019 footage. Objects defying physics. Janet's orbs, scout drones, not flares. Mike's triangle, a ship, not a mirage. Skinwalker's the jackpot. UFOs, orbs, mutilations scream abduction lore. Bigelow's team caught magnetic spikes, gamma rays, alien tech signatures. That wolf? A hologram or biodrone? The portal, a wormhole glimpse. No hard evidence, but the dots connect. Haunted spots could be observation posts. ETs studying grief, fear. UFO zones, bases or gateways. Science explains the how. Aliens might be the why. 3 hours, 7 stories, countless questions. Eastern State's whispers, Queen Mary's screams, Area 51's lights, Skinwalker's wolves, Waverly's nurse. They haunt us because they're real to someone. Science offers answers, sound, light, minds unraveling. But the alien idea? It's bold, eerie, and just possible enough to linger. Are these places echoes of the past, tricks of nature, or windows to the stars? You tell me. Drop your favorite tale below. Loved this marathon? Subscribe, hit that bell. We're decoding ancient mysteries next. Until then, next time you pass a dark building or a lonely road, listen closely.